Hey everyone, ArchTalko here, welcoming you back to Entwined. Now, we are actually coming up to the halfway point. Once we finish the 5th timeline, we will be halfway done with this game. Again, it's a really short game, but I don't think that necessarily makes it a bad game. Actually, I would argue that some of the best experiences you can have gaming are the really short ones. I mean, heck, Portal, Journey, Gone Home, Firewatch, Flower, Limbo, SteamWorld Dig, like, oh my god, the list goes on and on. There's so many incredible games that, you know, you can probably beat in 3 to 6 hours, or in this case, less than 1. But it's weird because, I mean, as a kid, it was really hard for me to get new games. Oftentimes I had to rely exclusively on relatives for my birthday and Christmas to get any new games, otherwise I had to just play the ones I already had. So really long games were always awesome because they kept me occupied till the next holiday when I could get a new game. But as an adult and as a person with like an actual income to spend on stuff, I have way more games than I know what to do with. And long games that take a lot of commitment, like recently I got the Witcher games, but I haven't even haven't even contemplated diving into those yet. I have a lot more limited time, and oftentimes I would much rather play, you know, 10 incredibly fulfilling and meaningful games than one very long but just kind of okay game. Although that said, playing through Xenoblade, which is easily like a 100+ hour game, and it is a masterpiece. A masterpiece. God, I love that game so much. But I remember back when IGN was doing their older style reviews, they would have this one section called Lasting Appeal, which like they would, an entire subcategory that they would grade a game on would be based on how much time you got out of it, which honestly, like, I'm glad they got rid of it because, again, I don't think playtime should ever be an indicator of how good a game is. Now, if you have a game of a certain genre, like an RPG, or, I don't know, like an open world game, if it doesn't have like a certain playtime, you're probably not getting the best bang for your buck, especially if it's like actually a AAA game that's marketed as having a ton of content. If it's not meeting that, then, I mean, obviously they're not fulfilling those, oh, what's the word? Expectations of the consumer. But, I don't know, there's something to be said about a good short game. I'll stop, because that's the end of that thing. Oh man. Speaking of SteamWorld Dig, that actually really brings me back. I think the last time I streamed a game was when I streamed Destiny last year, and ooh, that could have gotten much worse. Also, narratively, we were definitely reaching a very interesting point. Storm clouds, lightning, this volcano with lava. Really interesting stuff. Really, this game does leave a lot to interpretation, and I love it for that. It's a game that's really good at just making you think. And being general enough that I feel like in certain aspects you can kind of see your own life reflected through these various end sequences. I don't know. It's just really well done, and I can't really explain why. And that's partly what makes it so magical, in my humble opinion. But I would love to get back into streaming. You know, there was a point where we would do it at least like once a month or so. And I know last time I streamed a game blind, with webcam too, was when I did SteamWorld Dig, which is what brought this whole conversation. But I would really like to get back into it someday. It'd be fun. I know that, honestly, I've been shocked how many streamers are like almost exclusively shiny Pokemon farming streamers. Like, actually kind of mind-blowing, especially because that genre, and I feel like it is an actual genre on Twitch, is so kind of, I don't know, monotonous and like not exciting to watch, but still like super chill, and I'm sure a great gateway for discussion with the streamer and just access, like, it's a good way to have access to just a really laid-back atmosphere in general. I don't know. Plus, I'm sure the excitement of actually stumbling upon a shiny Pokemon is just phenomenal. I know personally, I've only found One. I've only found one shiny Pokemon. It was a shiny Lillup back in, what was it? Oh yeah, it was Pokemon X with the Friend Safari, if that's what it's called. Actually, like, I've never really gotten into the whole shiny Pokemon hype. Probably because I've never really gotten that many. Also, clearly, this part of the game is a little bit confusing. But, like, clearly, I was going into the wrong colors. I have no idea what I was thinking. Past ArchTalko. What are you doing, you silly goof? I find it really interesting how there are so many different ways that different games can motivate players and kind of create their own, like, meta games through it. And I'm not even talking meta games like in a competitive sense, but meta games in the sense of creating games within games. Like, well, for example, when I played through Entwined, doing a co-op thing where one person controlled orange, which was me, and the other person controlled blue, which was my friend. It's always really fascinating. Like, the speedrunning community, the shiny Pokemon Dex completing community, which is just insane to me. To think that, like, anyone would actually be able to grind for that long to complete a Pokédex of nothing but shiny Pokemon? Like, bro, what? Actually, what? It's really neat. Oh yeah, we're getting to this point where it gets really complicated. Games that just offer that sort of dynamic difficulty and dynamic way to play games in completely different ways, like Dark Souls with all the different weapons, but also with the monster tales, and like letting the player tack on additional challenges if they want, which more often than not really is like an additional challenge of trying to get those tails. Oh my god. Friggin' Painted World of Ariamis, can't remember her name, Priscilla. That tail is actually like my nemesis in that game. I don't know, it's when games do it properly and they don't just have like a difficulty slider for easy, normal, hard mode, when they actually dynamically allow players to make their own choices which shape the difficulty of the games themselves. I think that's really dang cool. And I wish more games could do it better. I feel like Undertale was a really good example of allowing you to, set your own challenges. You got to, play through the game how you wanted to. You can intentionally choose genocide, not only for the story, but also because that boss fight, man, that hashtag boss fight. And even things like just playing a bandage only run, which does make a huge difference, as I quickly found out in Waterfall. I don't know, dynamic difficulty, man, if I could talk, that'd be great. I would love that. Again, I would love to see more of it in games. Bit Trip Runner 2, giving you alternate paths through levels. I guess I feel like some genres probably aren't the best for it, like, I don't know, like platformers, you have a really strict design of the levels themselves and dynamically adding challenges, but also staying true to like a level's original design. I feel like it could be pretty tricky, but I don't know. I mean, if Undertale can do it, and it's an RPG based off of JRPG, I mean, honestly, I feel like any game could do it if they put in that effort to actually make it like a thing. Then again, oftentimes, I feel like the biggest thing that I just need from a game isn't necessarily like a dynamic difficulty or like super flash mechanics or anything, but just an overall sense of motivation. I am absolutely the person who will pick up a game to get first impressions and play for maybe half an hour, and then never touch the game again. I've done that to so many games, it is actually ridiculous. I'm the kind of person that when I do find a game that I'm invested in, I like can't put it down for weeks, but getting to that like initial stage of motivation, honestly, I feel like that is the biggest hurdle standing in the way between me and my ridiculously big backlog. Like, seriously, that thing is dumb. I have a Steam library of like, what, 450 games? Or more at this point? Thanks, Humble Bundle. And the biggest part of that is that for a lot of games, I just never feel a sense of motivation to continue playing the game. And I feel like, for the most part, the games that I gravitate to the most are ones with amazing soundtracks and really gripping narratives. doesn't have to necessarily be as like grand and epic as like a Xenoblade narrative, because honestly, I feel like Journey's narrative is one of the best in gaming history. But one that inspires enough intrigue and mystery within myself to want to continue playing, you know, past that hour first impression mark. But anyway, guys, I've been rambling on for more than enough. So anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching me play, and as always, I'll see you for the next episode of Entwined. Thanks for watching.